Good afternoon and welcome again to the Key Largo Volunteer Fire Department Museum. We're doing interviews again with several different people. We have come up to Ocala, Florida to meet up with a great friend of the Florida Keys. His name, Jerry Tafoya. Jerry, it is great to have you. Thank you so much for doing this with us. We're just going to ask you a few questions and see how it rolls. We may get into some pretty good stories and see how things go. But Jerry, how did it start for you in Key Largo, and where did it all begin?
I guess originally I'm from Albuquerque, New Mexico. When my mom and my dad were still married, we lived in New Mexico for a short time, moved to Anchorage, Alaska. Then we moved all the way down to Homestead, Florida, because my dad was in construction. He still is. My dad still lives in Islamorada, runs a construction company down there today.
And he works for MCF,
yeah,
I believe it is?
Yeah, MCF Framing.
Right.
He's been in the Keys since the late 70s now.
Nice.
But we moved to the Keys in the late 70s, and then my parents got divorced. My mom met a guy in the Air Force.
Right.
At a homestead. So then I ended up living in Germany for about 10 years.
Oh, wow.
And
okay.
But then I left Germany and moved back to the Keys to be with my dad.
Right.
And finished high school at Coral Shores in Tavernier.
Right.
And kind of where it all started was actually I was at the at the high school hanging out with old Spanky, Raymond Fleming.
Right.
And he was, to this day, he's one of my best buds.
Yep.
And we were hanging out at the high school, and one day he was already part of the Key Largo Volunteer Fire Department. And just one day he said, "Hey, do you want to come to a volunteer fire department meeting?" And I had no idea what I was getting into. And I think it was a Thursday night.
Right.
I went to my first meeting.
Right.
And never looked back.
So this is very shocking to me because I knew none of this, and I've been with Jerry for years and years. We started in the late to middle 90s and moved forward, and I knew none of this. I knew this is exciting because I didn't know that Spanky started you in the fire service.
He is the reason.
What?
Yep.
That is awesome.
He is the reason I became a fireman.
Wow, that is incredible. That is incredible because the Flemings have a huge history in the Key Largo Fire Department.
Oh yeah.
You've got Raymond, Spanky, which we call him Spanky, and then Chris was involved with the fire department, which is his brother, Chris.
Yep.
He passed away not too long ago. I think in 2013 it was. Frank would know these answers, but yeah. So yeah, keep going. I'm interested to hear that.
No, I went to my first volunteer fire department meeting, and next thing you know, it was every Thursday we were going to meetings, and then ended up meeting you, Mike, and Rob Burley, and Ike Beal. I mean, all those people.
Yeah.
And ended up becoming part of that department for probably a good 10 years or so. Out of high school.
Definitely.
Then my first paid job, I left the fire department with Key Largo, and I got hired at Ocean Reef Public Safety.
Right.
Was there for 4+ years. Then I left Ocean Reef, and then I went to Islamorada Fire Rescue, and they became their own little fire department.
Right. And what ranks were you? Did you move up from firefighter to lieutenant to captain, or how did that? Did you have any of those ranks?
I mean, at Ocean Reef, you were just like a public safety officer.
Right, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, and then then going to Islamorada, I was paramedic, firefighter,
right, gotcha.
Driver, whatever you want to call it.
Gotcha.
But I stayed with Islamorada for about a year and a half or so, and then I think I was kind of burnt out of the Keys. You know?
Yeah.
And just the congestion down there and the cost of living.
Right.
So
accidents were a big thing down there.
Yeah, big time.
So many,
So I put my application in with Ocala, and 25 years later, I'm still working for Ocala Fire Rescue.
That's awesome. Well, this is, let me tell you, I live up here as well, and this is a beautiful town. I've always loved Ocala, coming up to the State Fire College, and I understand that you're instructing in the State Fire College.
Yeah, I got a part-time job. I'm one of the instructors at the Florida State Fire Academy now, helping the new recruits that are coming through.
That's awesome.
Like, we have one class graduating right now, and then the next class is starting in about a week or so.
Right. And what do you teach?
I'm mostly fire ground stuff. I'm outside,
Right.
just the, all the skills, ropes,
Right.
ladders, drills, all,
Right.
pulling hoses.
Are you going in the burn buildings too?
Oh, yeah.
Are you doing?
I'm
Yeah.
still going in the burn building. I'm getting old.
Yeah.
Stuff wears me out sometimes. No, it's,
Yeah. That's awesome.
I'm still teaching out there. It's like a day here, a day there.
Yeah.
I'm not out there every day.
What'd you enjoy about Key Largo? What'd you enjoy about the fire department in Key Largo?
All the
Versus the antics. I know we had a lot of
probably stuff
jokesters.
we can't talk about, but
a lot of jokesters. Yeah, we had a lot of fun there. I know you enjoyed the diving portion of it.
yeah, the dive team was awesome. Being able to do some of the search and rescues. The actual stuff we had to go try to recover victims and stuff.
Right.
Doing the boat races.
Yeah,
that was a lot of fun. Those out of town trips.
Yeah.
Working the boat races. Mainly, Mike, just everybody that I've become friends with, couldn't ever change that.
Yeah.
So just.
Where do you see your future going, Jerry? Getting ready to retire soon? What are we doing?
I've got probably 3 to 5 years left with Ocala.
Right.
And I'm probably going to wrap it up.
Right.
I've been with Ocala, like I said, this is my 25th year.
Yeah.
So 3 to 5, and I'm probably done.
Right.
I might still teach at the Fire Academy part-time.
Right.
But I have my backcountry fishing guide service that I started a few years ago.
And what is the name of that?
It's Hook and Leader Fishing. It's hookandleaderfishingcharter.com.
Right. And if you're in Ocala here and want to go out on a charter, could you give them your number? We
Yeah.
can put that on here and.
Yeah, my number is 352-427-0166.
If you want to go fishing, we got a great guide up here that'll take you fishing here in Ocala, and out off of Cedar Key and.
Yeah, I fish mainly Wakasasa up to Cedar Key area.
Right.
There's a private fish camp in Gulf Hammock called the Gulf Hammock Fishing Club.
Right.
And I'm a member there, so I do charters out of there. And then I do a lot of charters out of Cedar Key, and then I do scallop trips. I actually have one tomorrow, but I go all the way up to Steenhatchee and do my scallop trips.
Right.
So I'm it's another part-time gig,
Yeah.
So.
Do you remember anything? Do you remember anything in Key Largo that sticks out, fire call wise or dive rescue wise, that sticks out that you just go, man, that was something that I'll probably never forget. We always do that with our fire chiefs and with our firefighters that we're interviewing. If there's anything that you can think of that just stuck out, just wow.
Like talking about like a bad call or something?
Yeah, bad call. Could have been a good call, something that was good as well.
Probably one of the worst calls I saw was when I was working at Ocean Reef.
Mm-hmm.
There was it was like a Bronco or something like that. They were running down Card Sound Road.
Right.
And they flipped it, trying to pass another car.
Oh, wow.
And everybody got ejected. And when we got there, everybody was like way out in the mangroves. And we had to like crawl through the swampy water to get to the people.
Mm-hmm.
And we walk up, or crawled up to the guy, and the guy sitting in the water in the mangroves has just acting completely normal.
Right.
But he had a mangrove stick embedded into the side of his head, sticking out about that far, and he was just sitting there acting like nothing was wrong.
Wow, man, that's crazy.
But we've had, Mike, we've had so many head-on collisions down there over the years, and it would take 10 years to talk about all the calls that we've seen.
Absolutely. We were talking to Rob Burley, and just some of the horrific stuff that we've seen on those roadways.
Yep.
I always give the opportunity for the person that we're interviewing to send a message to some of those folks out there that are traveling to the Keys. What kind of message, safety-wise, would you like to send to the?
Don't pass in a non-passing zone.
Correct. Correct.
I mean, they over the past few years, they've obviously done a lot to US 1 to try to prevent head-on collisions, putting up those concrete barricades and stuff.
Right.
So I think it's a lot safer now.
Yeah.
I mean, US 1 was probably the deadliest road in
Right.
the US for a while.
Yes.
But I think they've fixed a lot of that.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, obviously don't drink and drive.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, 100% don't drink and drive, folks. It's you know, you can have fun, and it's not hard to get a designated driver, you know. So be
I spend a lot of money on Uber now.
absolutely, yeah. So, well, Jerry, it is there anything else you want to go over? Any shout outs? Anybody you want to say hey to in the fire department in Key Largo? Any kudos or anything?
I mean, just obviously, you know, everybody that I've became a family with, you know, you and Rob Burley and Spanky and you know, Ron Mobley, you know, all
Right.
just all the old timers, you know.
Right.
We're all still around. We all try to get together whenever we can.
Right.
But that was being part of that Key Largo Fire Department was probably the best time of my life.
Right.
You know, at that time. So wouldn't change a one single thing about it.
Right.
And thank you, Spanky.
That's awesome. Well, we really appreciate talking to you, Jerry, and it is great seeing you again, obviously. And we hope that those folks out there will show up on July 4th at the Key Largo Volunteer Fire Rescue Museum for its open house. We're going to have burgers and dogs and hats and t-shirts and all kinds of stuff. And you will be able to see on that memorandum board and all those pictures in the Key Largo Museum, pictures of Jerry working and doing his thing in the fire department. He is on the board there. So, Jerry, thank you again. We really appreciate it, buddy.
I appreciate you, Mike.
Yep. Take care.